Hey, it's Evan. Welcome back to another episode of the Mindful 8 podcast. In today's episode, we're talking about what you are going to bring to your grave. This hero's journey brings everybody back to the one realization, self actualization of the God given individual you are, the divinity that is within you. And in understanding that you're a soul in a physical vessel, while it brings you comfort, what's most important is the excitement that it brings you, right? All fears lead back to death. It's the sum of all fears being brought back to death, dying. Now, this is a concept that even salesmen use. It's this fear of dying, fear of getting no's, fear of losing the deal. It's all really silly in reality because you don't bring any of that to the grave. You don't. The only thing that you bring to your grave is nothing, right? My father always said, live your life so others are better off for having known you. And that's a concept that I've really taken to heart because I'm not bringing anything to my grave. When Evan Sr. passes on, the only thing that is left behind, the only thing that he leaves behind are the memories that he created with individuals. That's the truth. There's really nothing else that he brings to the grave. And there's so much beauty in that. It's death that people are fearful of, right? But when you meet that realization with love, unconditional love, and you truly live a life fearlessly and with absolute courage, oh man, you are being set up for quite an incredible life. But that decision happens in an instant. Change happens in an instant. And that is what you must hypnotize yourself into knowing. Change happens in an instant. You can choose to believe that life is short. You have no idea when your day's going to come. You can maintain a healthy body, which is what we all strive to do, consciously or subconsciously. But your destiny was already written and you're just walking the path. You really don't know when your time is going to come. And that's okay. That's okay. Because in today's episode, we're contemplating what we actually bring to the grave. And we don't bring anything physical, metaphysical. The memories we have, the impressions we left on people, the unconditional love we transmitted to the world, the frequency that we operated at, the vibrations that we flew through. What flows through us in this time radiates for an eternity. The energy that we give off to people, energy of love and joy and freedom and peace, everything that we're striving for here and now, that's what people will remember us by. And in one of the previous episodes, we talked about how, 2025 is already a peculiar year, and it's only going to become more exciting. And everybody's surviving 2025, but to thrive in 2025, you're going to need courage. And that's really the antidote for overcoming this fear of death. Now, we've all been taught, at least I've been taught, that death is this morbid thing, especially not having a father figure, right? Losing my dad at a pretty young age, which I've overcome. He speaks through me. I am him, and I am the transmission. Evan Sr. is just a conduit, a vessel for transmissions to come through. Cool thing to think about. With this understanding, there's no need to be fearful of death because I wholeheartedly know that death is not the end. Our time here is so limited, it goes by in a blink of an eye. Yet people are still allowing themselves to live in fear. But to feel that God given gift that's within, we just have to overcome that fear. How do we do that? We do it with courage, we do it with love, we do it with an understanding that, okay, what do we bring into our grave? Nothing. And that's really how we live in alignment with our truest self, is we overcome fear, because the sum of all fears leads back to death and passing on into the next life. But many cultures meet that with love because they understand that it's not the end. There is no end. There only is the eternal now, especially here in the physical realm. So, with this understanding, a lot can be done to further heaven on earth. Well, you can start living heaven on earth and see where that takes you and see the inspiration that radiates to others. And that all starts with a choice, a belief, and an understanding that, you know, you're not bringing anything to your grave, anything physical, you're not bringing to your grave. It's at first a morbid thought, but then like when you get down to the reality of it, your perception of reality, your individual perception of reality, you realize that it's really not a morbid thing. It is what it is. And that's why it's important to lose yourself. Like one of the previous episodes, lose yourself to find the true self, right? You can choose to live heaven on earth. That choice happens now. And you can choose to believe that death is not the end. That belief happens now. And the understanding of you're not going to bring anything to your grave, that understanding is realized now, here and now, because the eternal now is the only thing that exists. It's a really cool thing to understand and to take to heart. Man, these transmissions, they bring me so much joy. They really do, because it's a good testament for me to continue this path of what is truly lighting my soul on fire, and that's talking to the camera. And this is my line of work. And it's only going to evolve more and more, because, oh man, there's so much work to be done here and now to usher in heaven on earth. A lot of things are going to change here and now. But the understanding of death is not the end is such an important thing to understand. Because you could have peace with one simple message to the world. And for me, the longest time, my message has been unconditional love is the answer. It always has been, it always will be. When we slow down our breath, the prana, and we meditate, we realize that God is everywhere and in everything. When you understand that God is eternal within the body, it fills you with an infinite amount of power to do good, the highest good possible for all humanity, for Earth. Full knowing that you're not bringing anything to the grave. The only thing that you leave behind is your message. That's why personal branding is so ideal in this day and age. Why star seeds have come to this earth to give us such technologies, or to remind us of the history that we've gone through with free energy, with 0-point technology and energy. Because that frees humanity. It's all one understanding to transcend what we already know to be true and what we already feel internally. Everything that we've ever wanted and everything that we've ever needed is within. As within, so without. A universal law. Ask yourself, what are you bringing to the grave? What are you bringing to the grave? What will you leave behind? The deathbed theory. At your funeral, who's speaking? What are they saying? with who's speaking and what they're saying. That's what's to focus on. The impact and effect that you have on other people here and now in this time period. That's a reflection on my end, because as I've grown up, grown young, people have come and go. And I always question why. Like, did I do something wrong? But I can't get caught up in that, because that's the past. And I heal the past. I heal the memory, because the past doesn't exist. There's memories. And I heal that with unconditional love and reframe how exciting the future is. This anticipatory future of free energy. Humans living in harmony with nature. Okay, if that's something that I want, I have to go and live that, which is the phase of life that I'm in, which is super cool. But ask yourself, what are you going to bring to the grave? Continue to ask yourself these things daily. Especially the 3 golden questions. Who am I? Why am I here? What did I reincarnate to do in this reincarnation? Ask yourself that question time and time and time again. Free energy. 0 point energy. Oh my goodness. How did we forget? It was wiped from existence, from our minds. Don't know how. Research. Do the research. You have an infinite amount of time. You can slow down time with your breath to remember what it is you're meant to do in this lifetime, what you reincarnated to do in this reincarnation. The possibilities are infinite. They truly are. Think bigger. Bigger than that. Even bigger than that. Because how do you want to be remembered? How do you want to be remembered? A person that healed the lineage and anticipated a healthy future for his family. The person who understood energy, frequency, and vibration. The person who maintained an internal peaceful state at all times, who mastered hypnosis, who lived fearlessly and with absolute courage, and went about every new conversation with love and affection. Think about it. Think about it. How will you be remembered? I love you. Thank you for listening. Please leave a like if you enjoyed, drop a comment, subscribe. We'll see you in the next one.